position and dipped it over him, and overall it was a real professional performance. But the key moments when we needed them, as in scoring, got them at the right times, but didn't concede at the wrong times. Because if this game goes 1-1 the other night, it becomes a little bit more different atmosphere within the stadium. The Luton players become a little bit more positive in their manner. The Luton supporters do. So it was defenders defend well, and as we asked Pascal after the game, he was buzzing to have kept a clean sheet.
I think Dan James, form-wise, he's on fire, isn't he? Just get the ball to me out wide. He's got that energy and the pace, obviously, we know. But I even think he's been a bit more balanced in the way he's, even assisting and the way he's playing. He looks a bit more... I know he's knocking on a little bit, but, he's still got a lot of quality because he's played at the highest level. And I think now we're seeing the best of a player who's got that much of ability and pace, but using it in the right way. When you've got that much pace, you've got to use it the right way. And I think he's doing that.
The one thing Dom touched on earlier about sort of last year, one or two players are sort of a little bit playing for themselves, possibly, but the thing for me was that a lot of the lads knew last year that they were playing week in and week out, Somerville and one or two others, and probably didn't produce as regular performances. The lads now, between the four of them, never know when they're going to be on the bench or starting, so all they have to do is perform to the highest ability that they can do, because it gives the manager a harder decision to leave you out. If you're a little bit inconsistent, then you're not going to be starting as much. But if you're playing really to the capability to still get left out, it means the team are doing well. And it's all about the team, where maybe it wasn't last year at times.
Yeah, I agree.
We are around 15 minutes away from kick-off then, down at Ewood Park. Let's get the thoughts of our commentary team for the first time this afternoon. Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo.
So here we are at Ewood Park. It's a mild afternoon. Leeds United looking forward to another tough game in the Championship, no doubt. Team news first. And there's a change, Tony.
There is a couple of changes. Byram out and Firpo has come back into his left back spot. And Dan James is in, and Manor Solomon has dropped out. So clearly our wide men, rotating those at the right time is going to be important with so many games. They're all playing extremely well, so it does seem a little harsh as well when one gets left out and another one doesn't. But I think that's good. It's competition is what you're after, and this time it's James and Yonto in the wide positions.
Well, it's been a really busy week, hasn't it? We've been all over the place this week.
Yeah, we have, and anytime you can do that, you don't want to change it too much, but just 2 or 3 here and there is absolutely fine. So what is our strengths? Clearly our wide men are our strengths as well, but the squad that we've got. So you have to utilise it, not only bring them on with 15, 20 minutes to go, but also a lot of games, get some fresh legs out there.
Blackburn come off the back of a good away win in midweek. Yeah. They've been kind of up and down in recent times, haven't they? They had a couple of good results, and then before that a little bit of a bad run. So we're trying to work out what we're going to see here today, maybe.
Well, not really sure, but clearly they have some important players. Cantwell being clearly probably their most important. Keeping him quiet, I think, would be a good thing today. But we know coming here, it's this sort of teams we need to win. We need to beat to try and stay at the top of the table. So they're 8th, they have a game in hand. They're a decent side. We've played a lot of sides in that middle of the table, and that could be the difference in the end. The big games, I always feel, take care of themselves. It's the teams in the middle and at the bottom, can we sort them out? And Blackburn are one of those.
7,000 Leeds fans have been making their way over this morning. That's an incredible support that Leeds United are going to have here. Does that help in a game like this?
Absolutely. It really does help. Obviously, it helps Blackburn's coffers as well to get some money in. But I remember last season here, we played really well, didn't we? We were 2 or 3 goals up. No Blackburn supporters were in the ground. They all started going home, but our lot were here right to the end. So I think that makes a big difference. Not too far away. So we're coming here in a real positive attitude with a lot of fans behind us.
Yeah, huge Leeds support. Big game to come. Kick-off not too far away now.
Yeah, Brendan Tony will bring you all the commentary from 1:30 today. Let's just take a look at Blackburn and John Eustace, who I know you both know pretty well. Dom, in particular, you played with John in the Stoke days, wasn't it? What kind of a job is he doing there? Interesting that they're on this slightly strange form. They've missed a game because one was postponed because of the weather, but they actually come on to this game on the back of 2 wins.
Yeah, knowing John pretty well, he's tough. Even when you played with him, he was an angry man. I like that as well, because you have to have that kind of anger to get where you got to. And he's done a brilliant job. Obviously, disappointing what happened to him at Birmingham, but obviously he's come to Blackburn. And like you say, I know what he'd be like in the dressing room. He'll be on people's cases, if you're not performing. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to make sure you get the best out of players. And I think he's good at that. And I just think he's one of those lads that he's just happy to be a manager. He's enjoying it, you know, and he was gutted to happen at Birmingham, I'm sure. But obviously now he's got another chance at a good club like Blackburn, and he's doing well. You know, he's going to make it hard for Leeds today. There's no two ways about that.
Interesting to hear him talk in his pre-match press conference about Leeds United, very complimentary about Daniel Farke, and the work says likely to be top 2 is what he said. Now, how much of that from a managerial point of view? You've got to be careful what you say in press conferences. How much is that applying maybe a little bit of pressure to the opposition? How much of it is you just saying what you think? How do you approach those kind of things?
Well, I think if you were to ask every Championship manager who's going to be in the top 2, and I think every manager nearly would be saying us, to be fair. Yeah. So I don't think he's saying anything just to butter us up or any psychology like maybe Sir Alex did in the day and stuff like that, but he's probably just been very honest about the situation, that we've got some really good players missed out last year, and he knows he's going to be in a tough game. And Blackburn have been so inconsistent. I did some work the other week for some media work, and I watched them against Stoke, and they played really, really well and lost 2-0 at Ewood. The goalkeeper for Stoke had an unbelievable game that night, and they've got some good players. Cantwell's a really good player, was at previously at Norwich and Rangers, so he's a key player that we have to keep quiet. But you just never know what you're going to get from them. They go to Middlesbrough the other night and beat them. I was speaking to somebody and he was bullying Middlesbrough up, saying they're going to get promotion and stuff like that. And then I texted him next day, oh, what's happened after Blackburn beat you? But that's Blackburn Rovers for you over the last 2 or 3 years. Last year they were fighting for their lives to stay in the division. The previous year they narrowly missed out on the playoffs. I know a lot of people over there because my lad was there for a while, and it's basically they just cannot get the right consistency with where they want to get to, and hopefully we can
take advantage of that.
Take advantage of it today, that they had the high on Wednesday night and they have a low today.
Well, let's take a look at the goals. Last year at Ewood Park, Leeds running out 2-0 winners last year in what was eventually a pretty comfortable game. We talked about the numbers of fans as well, and Jorginho Ruta with a pinpoint pass here, and Dan James, who starts today, scored midweek with a beautiful finish.
Yeah, it was a great move, and he gets it into that wide area. And we talked about this the other night, getting half an opportunity and getting shot off. And he does that, to be fair. He waits for the opportunity, fires it across, and give the goalkeeper no chance. And again, something like that will be great to see today.
And Somerville with a sensational finish there with the outside of his boot.
Over the top, that's just clever. He was that type of player, wasn't he? He was always going to do something a little bit different to other players. But yeah, great goal, great finish. And like you say, the amount of fans we get on this trip is just amazing. So as a player as well, that's great because, you know, it's more or less full. You know what I mean?
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because, you know, it is so many fans to be able to take there. 7,000 Leeds fans will be there. That creates an atmosphere that is unusual in a home ground, that it almost feels not like a home game, but there's so much noise coming. That must have an impact on the players.
Well, it does. I remember going there when I was a Preston manager, and we had 7,000 supporters there, and it was and we beat them, I don't know, 2 or 3-0 or something like that. And the atmosphere was absolutely electric. And there's a special feeling amongst the away supporters because you're all in one tight area, you're all bouncing off each other, whether it's 1,000, 4,000 or 7,000 today, and there'll be some limbs knocking around after the game if there's another late winner goes in or 2 or 3 goals like the other night. So it's going to be great support.
I was chatting to him all this morning, doing a bit of a preview with all the lads on the way, and I tell you what, they are looking forward to this one. They've had a few already, as you do on them away trips, but it looks brilliant, and hopefully we can just go and get the result that they want as well.
Okay, the fans have been given the Don Matteo pep talk before setting off this morning. Watch out, Blackburn. Okay, let's hear from a player who left Ewood Park a couple of years ago. This will be his second visit back since leaving. Let's get the thoughts of Leeds United's midfielder, Joe Rothwell.
Joe, from a chaotic win on Sunday to a nice, controlled, mature performance, how can you sum up those last few days?
I think you've just summed it up perfectly. Sunday was, like you say, a bit of madness, but that's exactly what the Championship's like. And then yesterday, I wouldn't say routine, but more of how we want to play and dictate and control games. And I felt yesterday was back to our best.
Last night's win was 6 in a row, 3 clean sheets. What does that do for you as a group going forward ahead of this really busy period?
It's massive. Obviously, winning games at any point is key, but winning home games is always going to be a massive factor for us, and hopefully we can continue that and turn Ellen Road into a place where teams fear coming and don't want to come.
You personally, you've had a good run of games in the team now. how are your confidence levels on a personal note?
Yeah, really high. I always knew once I could get a run of games and get my rhythm back, it was I'd be able to show what I was all about. And thankfully I've managed to do that. And as I say, obviously players coming back now, we're going to need everyone. So, but personally, I've really enjoyed playing, and I'm thankful for the staff here for giving me the opportunity to actually enjoy my football again. So I'd like to obviously thank them, and I feel like I've repaid them.
On a personal note as well, you're an experienced player at this level. What is it you can do for the group? For some of those players that haven't played around Christmas in this country, what can you bring to the table for them to try and explain what it's like?
Obviously, it's new for a few of the lads. The few of the lads who've played abroad usually get the winter break, so they get the time off. But for us, it's normal. We just play all through Christmas, and yeah, it's just something you get used to. So obviously, if the lads need any advice, I'm there to try and give them a bit of advice and help them. But you've seen how they've adapted coming over here, so I'm sure they'll find it quite easy.
Saturday's game is one for you that's a former stomping ground. When you joined the club, is it a fixture you looked out for straight away?
Yeah, it was one of the first. I've only been back once since I left. So yeah, it'd be nice to go back and see a few familiar faces. And but obviously, we're going there for one reason, and that's to win the game.
In terms of, you mentioned earlier about the home support. Leeds have got over 7,000 fans going, and it's a bit cliche, but it is almost like a home game as well. So what does that do for you as a group?
It's massive, as you say. Taking 7,500 fans to an away game is unheard of, really. So I'm sure they'll make themselves heard, and as I say, they'll be massive for us through that game, and hopefully we can go out there and put on a good performance for them. Blackburn
have picked up a couple of decent wins in the last few games. In terms of a fixture itself, what are you expecting from them?
Another really tough game. As you say, they had a great result yesterday at Middlesbrough away, not an easy place to go, and obviously they'll be full of confidence at the minute, and coming to that game fully thinking obviously they'll want to win it as well. So it'd be up to us to go there and play our game and do what we do, and as I say, hopefully we can come on the right side of it.
So there you go, Joe Rothwell with growing influence in that Leeds United midfield. It is a big game today, isn't it? Because you look at Blackburn, actually 5 wins, 2 defeats at home. They've got a pretty good home record. And if you look at Leeds, yeah, the Luton game made it 6 wins on the bounce at home. But some of the away form does need to pick up a little bit.
Yeah. Blackburn last time they're home, I think they lost as well. The last 2 wins have been away from home, so they might feel a little bit more comfortable going away from home. But the supporters at Blackburn will be up for today. Always is the case. All of a sudden, the numbers increase, the volume increases. They're just so unpredictable, as we said. I don't know what you're going to get from Blackburn Rovers. What Leeds have got to do today is just concentrate on what they can affect, and that's being strong defensively, make sure that they've been patient in attack, but when they get into that final third, be ruthless like they have been over the last few weeks.
OK, well, here we go. The players are lined up in the tunnel. Leeds with a chance to go back to the top of the Sky Bet Championship. Here we go, 7,000 Leeds fans waiting, and on the gantry, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo with your commentary.
Teams emerge from down below, and the team in yellow, the players turn to look to their right, and they see a wall of yellow and blue and white, of course, behind the goal. Leeds occupying the Darwin end of the stadium, top and bottom tier, in huge numbers. Blackburn Rovers fans not quite so populous around the rest of the stadium, it has to be said. But this is a fixture that Leeds have always been given a really healthy away contingent for, and always don't disappoint in terms of filling it as well. Leeds United side shows 2 changes from the team that began the game in midweek against Luton, with Dan James starting in place of Manor Solomon, who's on the bench, and Sam Byram out injured, so junior Firpo comes straight back into the side after completing his suspension. Leeds United with the opportunity to go back to the top of the championship table, but to do that, they're going to have to win this game. Sheffield United having reclaimed top spot in their game against Sunderland last night. Blackburn Rovers will, at the moment, they're 9th. There are games in the championship going on elsewhere. They've dropped a position in the table. Depends on the outcome of those games. But they've been a side that has been in good form away from home in the last 2 matches. A really good win at Middlesbrough in midweek. Before that, one at Cardiff. The game against Portsmouth here was called off, postponed rather, because of heavy rain. Prior to that, they had 3 successive defeats in the league. So they're a side who've been a little bit up and down, I think it's fair to say. Whatever the version we see of Blackburn today, it's down to Leeds United to do what they have to do and to come through another difficult-looking Championship away fixture. Leeds players in their huddle, and Blackburn Rovers players out in formation and ready to go. It's a mild winter's day here. We've had all kinds of weather recently, but today we cannot complain at all. It's dry, it's mild, and we have blue skies overhead. The players break. Meslier runs towards that huge travelling army, acknowledges their backing, and they acknowledge his presence, and the game is all set to get started here. Leeds United will be defending the end in front of those travelling fans in the first half, surely as they would want it. And Piroe is in the centre circle to get the game underway. Piroe awaits the signal. This unusual Saturday lunchtime kickoff time, it's 1:30 UK time. And the game is underway. Pascal Struijk with an early touch, the skipper weighing up his options with a strip of sunlight across the pitch. Meslier with a short pass out to Joe Rodon. And Struijk again in possession for the away side.
What's interesting here is that there's no real high press, is there? They're just making sure that they keep their lines together.
Jayden Bogle trying to work through those lines perhaps, and he's won Leeds an early free kick in a position of some promise in that Blackburn Rovers half. So wriggled away from the challenge and then was bundled over.
Yes, and the 3 forward players for Blackburn were just really dropping off, not going too early, allowing the space to get big in between. Because I think as soon as teams come and try and go at us and try and press, we're good enough to pass through them. And of course, us in space were a real danger. So clearly, John Eustace does not want that for his side here at home.
Tanaka with a short free kick. Bogle gives it back to the midfielder. Leeds just keep the ball in the Blackburn half for now at least. Rothwell, the former Blackburn man, moving forward here. A few boos for him. Not the first time he's been back since he left, and that pass would probably be more to the liking of the home fans these days, as it skimmed over the toes of Dan James and behind for a goal kick.
Our fans away to the right are making some right noise. It's great to see, isn't it? Absolutely chock-a-block the whole away end.
We're in the midst of the Lexodus on the way over the Pennines earlier today. Loads of Leeds traffic on the motorways. As Blackburn look to mount their first attack of the match. Leeds win the ball back with Aaronson, and now on to Piroe, who's got a bit of space to run into. Tried to find James, but the pass was blocked off, and the home side have possession. Junior Firpo is already involved in a little tussle that he loses out. And now some nifty footwork on this near side touchline from Dolan, and it results in a free kick. Leeds have a problem with a player down.
Yes, and that doesn't look good, is it? Pascal, that is down on his haunches. Referee says no, okay, just give him a few minutes. So hopefully that means it's nothing too serious, but not exactly sure what's happened. But you're right, Dolan there showing some neat footwork. Skips around Firpo rather easily. No way Tanaka was going to let him do that.
So Leeds have to defend this early free kick in the 4th minute here at Ewood Park.
Pascal does not look comfortable, does he?
It's definitely one we'll be keeping a little eye on. As the ball, Cantwell is one of the two who will be taking this free kick potentially. Cantwell it is, delivers into the penalty area. It was a great ball, and it was Pascal Struijk there, who shows that perhaps he's not too bad after all by meeting the ball with an important header.
Even injured, he's the man in the box. I think he's had a great season so far, Pascal. The skipper as well, just getting better and better.
Blackburn able to apply some more pressure with a long throw from the near side touchline, which will be delivered in by Brittain. Flicked into the box, leads clear through James. And then Struijk does a similar job. Gnonto takes it down really neatly. There's a line of 3 in the middle, but Gnonto stopped in his tracks by the tackle from Travis, the Blackburn skipper. And the ball is out for a Leeds throw-in, quickly taken. Tanaka. 2 Japanese internationals on show here again today. Ohashi for Blackburn Rovers as well. Tanaka with the ball to Rodon. And back to the D, it goes to Meslier. Again, Blackburn stand off and let Leeds 2 central defenders move the ball forward. James trying to work it round to the other side of his opponent there. Didn't quite work, and suddenly there's a ball through the middle that needs defending. Firpo provides the first touch, but there's still work to be done here. She it is who's putting the ball into the penalty area. Rodon with a defender's clearance, but there's a little nudge there from Bogle that will result in a free kick to Blackburn. And again, Leeds will have to form up in the penalty area to defend this one.
Well, there's a huge gap, wasn't there, at the back. We weren't quite in a line. Firpo got back just in time, but couldn't quite clear the danger. And he was giving away a free kick. Another dangerous area for Blackburn just to swing one in.
So plenty of pressure on the goal in front of those travelling Leeds fans in the last couple of minutes. Cantwell again in place to potentially deliver this one. And he runs away. It's curled onto the penalty spot, and Rothwell's there, and Meslier's got to go and catch this, and he does. Takes it into his body and then rolls it out to Dan James. Manages to work it to Piroe. Could give it back here. No, he goes Firpo wide instead. Leeds moving up the pitch with Gnonto in possession. Gnonto's first chance to run. Now Firpo on the overlap. Gets a good-looking ball back into the middle. Flat from the keeper. No sort of touch on that, really, from Pears there. And it's hooked into touch.
Excellent counter-attack, wasn't it? And you're right, Pears, I think, just gets a slight touch. It was an awful effort from the keeper that, fortunately for Blackburn, drops to one of their players and not one of ours.
Rothwell to Firpo. Put a good cross in there, Junior Firpo back in the team. He's been in action in the time he's been out suspended for the international team, who've had great success in the Dominican Republic. Meslier. Short ball to Tanaka, returns the favour. And then it goes square to Joe Rodon. Rodon rather telegraphed that one, and the ball is cleared into touch. Leeds will end up with a throw-in.
See what Blackburn are trying to do. They're not allowing really Tanaka to get the ball just 5-10 yards in that midfield. They'd rather one of the centre halves or Rodon there trying to play a longer, more difficult ball. A couple of times now it's been cut out.
Well, John Eustace is the man in charge of Blackburn Rovers these days, and he did the number on Leeds twice last season. Birmingham City very early on. A 1-0 win at St Andrews.
And how he lost his job, I'm not quite so sure.
Oh, yeah. And then came to Ellen Road with Blackburn Rovers in April. And again, 1-0 win. It was a real blow for Leeds United at a point where the team was pushing hard for automatic promotion. Piroe and Bogle. Pings back to Tanaka.
That time was a good ball from Rodon there. Nice and firm into Piroe.
Leeds happy to go back to Meslier. Leeds have come out on top in their last couple of visits to Ewood Park.
Just remember last game was like a bit of an exodus, wasn't there? 10 minutes to go. They had no fans left, and it was all Leeds fans, which was rather nice. Let's hope it's the same.
Piroe manages to get it to Aaronson. He just hooks it up in the air. Nonto was hopeful, but well defended. And then pushed forward into an area not occupied by a blue and white shirt by Tronstad. And Leeds are able to regain possession comfortably with Joe Rodon. 10th minute, 0-0.
Just get a feeling there's going to be a lot of this playing around at the back, don't you? That's how we then manoeuvre the ball from this last third into the middle, and then of course get into that danger last third area.
Meslier goes long, swings it cross field towards James, headed away from Dan James, and then the flag is up for offside. So Bogle's half-hearted tackle is explained by that. Blackburn will have a free kick, which they take. And then they go with a swinging wide crossfield ball into Callum Brittain, who keeps it away from Nonto. Cantwell to this near side, and Dolan comes infield. And then it's just kept in play and pushed back towards the man on the halfway line, Hyam. And then it's an up and under, really, that Joe Rodon goes and has to deal with. Firpo helps it out. And now Aaronson maybe can do something a bit with this ball. Trying to get forwards, but successful challenge on Brendan Aaronson. Well, in fact, foul committed by Brendan Aaronson there.
Well, did you see that? I didn't
really, no.
No, but you never quite got it under control, did he, Brendan? It was he was getting chased by a couple of players and didn't quite get it under his spell.
Hyam in possession for Blackburn, man who got the winning goal at Middlesbrough in midweek. Blackburn now able to move men forward. Cantwell in possession. Aaronson battling away with him there. And manages to get a touch to put it out of play. Now Leeds defending the penalty area. The long crossfield ball to Brittain once more. Puts it back in the middle. Off the crossbar. Follow up. Put wide. Well, great opportunity for Blackburn Rovers to take the lead there. The header off the bar, but then the follow-up effort. You were expecting the net to ripple. It didn't. It went wide, and Leeds are lucky that that was the case.
Well, it was a fantastic effort, really was. Brilliant crossfield ball to Brittain on this right-hand side. The volley in was just superb. And Ohashi, you would have thought, had to just put it into the back of the net, but somehow he managed to survive that one.
So a real let-off for Leeds, who now try and respond in kind with Nonto into the edge of the penalty area. Tries a low shot. Oh, it's hit James, who's offside, and because it's offside and beyond their line and it hits him, the flag is raised. So that didn't quite work out the way that Leeds wanted in the end.
Just wondering if that was actually on target or not. The opportunity was to play in James slightly earlier, although Nonto was waiting for Aaronson on the right-hand side. Instead, he went for neither and just tried to deceive the keeper. We've seen it many a time, haven't we, into that bottom corner.
Not this time. Blackburn with the best early chance by some distance, or chances. The header first and then the follow-up. Unable to take advantage of either. And then there's a poor kick into touch from Pears that keeps the ball high up in that Blackburn half and gives Leeds a throw in.
Well, home side really have started well, causing us a good few problems. We also had one or two chances ourselves, but no one's taken any of them so far.
Smoddix was the star man for Blackburn, of course, last season. He made his way into the Premier League with Ipswich. But their recruitment seems to have been solid enough to put them in position for sure for the playoffs potentially. As Leeds now build with Rodon involved. Piroe can't find James. Ohashi is there for Blackburn. Leeds win it back with Struijk, and now Tanaka, and on it goes to Aaronson. Turns quickly, works the ball to Bogle. Bogle can come in field into the edge of the area to Piroe. Bogle goes on the run into the box and almost picks it up on the far side. And it's a swift intervention before James delivers back into the middle. Oh, just beyond Gnonto's dive into the penalty box there. Firpo picks it up to keep it alive for Leeds. Rothwell, now Firpo again. On it goes to Aaronson. Aaronson goes to ground, and the referee says there was no foul from Brittain there. So the game goes on. Aaronson is back in possession briefly before Cantwell wrestles it away, and then it's won back again by Firpo. Now Aaronson and now Tanaka. James through the middle for Leeds, into the edge of the area, trying to find Aaronson there, but wasn't successful. And Blackburn clear it up the park, and now Rodon has to defend with a header into touch.
Well, some really good play, but Brendan Aaronson just a couple of times there, getting out muscled. But then when he did get the ball, just couldn't quite find that final pass.
So it's been a lively few minutes here at Ewood Park. Blackburn going as close as you can without scoring. Leeds trying to respond at the other end without actually troubling Pears. And the away side have the ball in their possession with Pascal Struijk. Bogle goes on a little run far side. Struijk saw him, but then thought better of it. Brings Firpo into play instead. Firpo puts it up beyond Piroe. Won by Rothwell. Just a little too much on that. It's defended by Bart, who goes back to Pears. And then Gnonto wins it well. Here's Gnonto! Keeper makes a great save. Gnonto firing towards goal. Pears came out to atone for the error. Rothwell's ball into the penalty area goes behind surely for a corner kick for Leeds. And that's Leeds' big moment so far.
Oh, it's a great chance, it really is. Got to say, the keeper, Ainsley Pears, not having a good afternoon so far. There was another poor decision, and the shot from Gnonto had to, of course, take it quick. He nips in really well, but keeper in the end, you're right, makes a good save.
So Leeds have the first corner kick of the afternoon with Joe Rothwell standing over the ball currently, and waiting for the signal from Lewis Smith. Rothwell preparing to put it into the crowd. There's all sorts going on in the middle of the penalty area. It goes in low and it's comfortably cleared away by Osahi, and it's Leeds on the halfway line with Bogle.
Well, that's probably Rothwell's worst delivery since he's come to the club, because he has been superb and on the money more often than not. That one, unfortunately, was nowhere near.
And the home fans let him know about it. Piroe on the chest. Nice ball, laid off to Rothwell.
Better.
Now Gnonto. Firpo's wide if he needs him. Gnonto holds onto it for now. Still with the ball. Goes back to Rothwell. Infield to Struijk, well up the park, as is Rodon. Two centre-halves playing in the middle of the Blackburn half here. Over the top it goes for Gnonto. Takes it on his chest into the edge of the area. Nice work to make space for a shot, perhaps. Curls it forwards, and Pears punches this one away. Two-handed, and it goes out for a corner kick. Hits the corner flag and rolls behind.
Oh, excellent play again. We move the ball really quickly. Bypass the press out wide to Gnonto, who then cuts in. Beats one, beats two. Unfortunately, couldn't beat the keeper this time at the far post.
Doesn't look entirely comfortable, Pears, does he?
No, he doesn't. So let's make him work. Certainly from his corner kick, let's miss the first man.
That would be challenge one for Joe Rothwell with the outswinger this time. In it comes. Better height on that one. Headed clear again, though. Aaronson chases to keep it away from Cantwell. Gives it to Bogle. Struijk. Nonto has it. Flicks it back to Joe Rodon in the centre circle. Now Pascal Struijk out to Junior Firpo. Works it well into Tanaka and on to Aaronson and back to Tanaka. He's moving the ball well at the moment. Bogle. In it goes to Piroe. Out to James. Back to Piroe. James is on a run. Defender spotted the danger and clears the ball. Pickering got in front of Dan James there. Bogle has it back for Leeds. Now Rothwell. And now Tanaka. Rothwell. Both in the Leeds half still, as is Rodon. Joe Rodon checks, comes back and gives it to Nonto. Nice ball. Oh, just span away from Tanaka there. Yeah, referee might have kind of got in his eye line, and suddenly Leeds have got to defend down the edge of the penalty area. Tanaka comes across his man. What's the referee going to give here? He's going to give a penalty for Tanaka's challenge on Dolan, making his way into the penalty area. Well, wondered whether he got anything of the ball there. It would appear not.
No, I didn't think he did. He just ran into the player, but Dolan, nice and positive. First touch just straight across. Unfortunately, Tanaka has collided with Dolan. Referee's there. I think once the ball goes past you as well, you just got to allow him to run. I know it's a hard thing to do because he's in on goal, but had another defender trying to come around, but that just makes the decision up for the referee.
So Leeds United have a big moment here because they've given Blackburn the perfect opportunity to put themselves in front here at Ewood Park. Cantwell is the man delegated to take the penalty kick. Meslier has his word and then steps away. And the Leeds fans behind the goal, arms waving above heads, try and do a little bit to put the penalty taker off. Referee back to the edge of the box to check everybody's where they should be. All on Meslier here for Leeds United. Cantwell gets the signal. And Cantwell drives it just beyond the dive of the keeper and into the corner of the net to give the home side the lead here. Blackburn Rovers from the penalty spot go 1-0 up.
It's an excellent penalty, it really was. Tucked away into that bottom corner. And Meslier, I have to say, made himself huge, didn't he? Bouncing around the line, but could do nothing about Todd Cantwell tucking it away.
As you'll probably be able to tell, there's a very enthusiastic Blackburn Rovers fan sitting pretty much right next to me here, who's enjoyed that moment much more than we have. So Leeds have a job to do again here, away from home. Piroe back in position of taking a kick off for the second time this afternoon. Rodon to Bogle. Now Struijk. And now Firpo. Referee apparently in the way of Aaronson again there. Blackburn on the front foot here. Back in that Leeds half again. And then a back pass that asked Pears to do a little bit. He gets there ahead of Piroe. Bogle has to defend this. And then Bogle has committed a foul here that's going to result in a booking. Just hesitant and allowed the opponent the chance to nip in front of him. Dolan again. And Leeds have got more problems here.
That's a really poor mistake. Just get there, deal with it quickly. Bogle just takes way too long, too many touches, and once you've made the mistake, don't compound it by getting yourself in the book.
So Leeds back in that penalty area, back defending. 24th minute, and Blackburn Rovers have a free kick in a position where they can put Leeds under real pressure. Cantwell appears favourite to take this one with the potential in-swinger here. Whipped in towards Meslier and then off the top of the head and over the crossbar. It was a good delivery, but the header at the end of it didn't cause Leeds any trouble.
Well, that's an excellent delivery, really is. That's got pace and power, accuracy, dips into an area which is really difficult to defend against, even as a defender. It's one of their players that gets there first, fortunately. Couldn't get it down.
Meslier with a long through ball. Batth beats Piroe. Tanaka and Bogle. Back to Tanaka. And now Rodon for Firpo. And then it's not quite the moment that Leeds United wanted, right in front of Daniel Farke there. Overhit pass that Firpo had no chance with.
No, it's a little unsettled, aren't we? I have to say, the Blackburn got their noses in front and they're working extremely hard.
Ohashi against Struijk. The Leeds man wins the header, but concedes the throw-in. And Brittain steps forward to take it. Cantwell given away to Firpo, Nonto. Aaronson, this time he is pushed down. Leeds get a free kick. Struijk gives it to Rodon. Runners ahead of him, and Bogle's one of them down the channel here. There's nobody in the box though. Now they arrive, and it's smuggled out for a throw-in anyway.
Smart free kick at the back that got us going really quickly down that right-hand side.
Bogle stays forward as he's going to be taking the throw-in. Back it goes to Tanaka. And now Firpo. Rothwell and Struijk exchange passes. Tanaka. Back to Rodon. Piroe. Feeds it back to Joe Rodon.
No space in there, is there? They're snapping away at our heels every time we get into those sort of areas.
Aaronson back to Rodon. Leeds allowed to advance, but then it rather stops. Trying to get going now. Piroe a little bit lucky, but he's got it to Aaronson and got it back again in the penalty area. Tried to tuck it inside, and then an absolute calamitous attempt to clear it from Blackburn Rovers. Results only in Leeds United getting a corner kick.
Yeah, Hyam at the back for Blackburn, just trying to boot it forward. Comes off his own player, but once again, good play. We get into good areas, but Blackburn defending well at the death.
So Rothwell to take the latest corner kick for Leeds United. 28th minute, Leeds behind here at Ewood Park. Curled into the middle. Beyond Firpo, comes out for Aaronson. James just about manages to turn it back to Bogle as he was quickly closed down. And Bogle gives it to James again down the left for Leeds. In it goes to Nonto. Now Firpo in some space. Puts it up into the penalty area. Nonto with a header goalwards. He's a long way out, so he got the direction but didn't get the power. An easy catch for the keeper.
Good move. And well picked out by Firpo. Nonto, yes, a long way to score a header from there, and I think Dolan just about did enough defensively.
Back with the goalkeeper. She wins the header, but it goes straight to Firpo. And now Struijk with a square ball to Joe Rodon. Blackburn fans in better voice now. They've seen their side create chances and then go ahead. Aaronson. Now Rodon. Rodon moves further forward. Plays it into path of Piroe, come off his defender. Over on this near side, James waits, and now he gets the ball from Rothwell. Dan James goes back into the path of Rothwell, who puts a curling effort in, and always inviting the goalkeeper to come and grab onto that one. That's exactly what he did.
Yes, cross shot, not sure what exactly that was. Just a little bit too high anyway for Nonto. That was...
Oh, Piroe has been given it. Oh, my word. He tries to turn it away from the keeper, but he just hit it too hard. He was put right in his path there. Firpo's penalised, and twice now Leeds United have been presented with terrific opportunities from awful passes out from the back.
Well, those moments are so important that we take advantage of any sort of mistake, but that's just awful. Didn't see where Piroe was.
Brittain with the cross for Blackburn. Comes to the edge of the area to Cantwell. Tees it up. And Rothwell makes the block, and then another drive comes in, and that's blocked as well. And now Leeds try and counter-attack with Piroe and James linking up, and James will get to this, and there are runners through the middle if he could pick somebody out here. James trying to play it inside the defender for Piroe, and Piroe was his closest option, but not, as it turned out, maybe his best option.
No, unfortunately the ball at the end of it wasn't great, but again another good counter. It's half a chance, but we need to be better in those sorts of areas, and of course when they're presented to us. Piroe here gets in before the keeper, but can't put it away.
Struijk. Tanaka. And now Firpo. Works it away from Dolan. Now Rodon. Into the centre circle to Tanaka. Past the half-hour mark here. Tanaka back to Rodon. Plays it through the channel for Aaronson, and Bogle's come in. The flag is raised far side, and that will be offside against Aaronson, presumably.
It must have been a close one. I thought the challenge on Aaronson wasn't great either, but the touch he got off was good. Either way, it's gone to Blackburn.
Pears in position. And he sends his teammates further forward. Takes his time over this one, has to be said. And then drops it in the Leeds half, where it's won powerfully in the air by Rodon. Can't keep the ball in play, though. Blackburn have the throw.
Well, after his previous efforts of trying to play out from the back, not a surprise, boys. Get up to the halfway line and just boot it up there.
I liked it when they played out from the back.
So do I.
Throwing on halfway for the home team. Ohashi pursued by Rodon. Gets the ball from Nonto. Can't get it beyond the Japanese international, but then the other Japanese international steps in to win the ball back for Leeds United. Rothwell and now Firpo. Rothwell back to Firpo. And then Struijk. Tanaka. Rodon's got all the space in front of him here. Played it against the covering midfielder. Gets another chance, perhaps. Short ball to Aaronson, back to Rodon. Works it past Ohashi to Tanaka. James down the left for Leeds. Gets a good ball into the middle, just beyond the stretch of Aaronson. Struik's header, picked up by Dolan, ahead of Firpo. Tanaka penalised for a nibble there at Dolan, no more. And Blackburn are happy just to walk themselves out of a defensive shape, move a little up the park, and then compound that by indicating that Hyam was going to take the free kick and then letting Pears wander out slowly to take it instead. Off the top of the head of Bogle, goes out of play for a Blackburn throw-in. Down the left-hand side, Pickering is up to take it. 2 balls on the pitch. Briefly, Cantwell battling away with Tanaka, and now Aaronson joins the fray. Blackburn come out with the ball, and still flicked into space down the right for Brittain to attack the edge of the box. James is the man in front of him. Brittain still in possession. Back for Tronstad, and now Brittain once more to curl the cross in, comes off James and out for a throw-in. James can't quite get in there, but then the ball is hit at Dolan, who's offside. And so it's a Leeds free kick.
Just got to be a little careful down here, because Brittain, certainly the right back, is getting forward, picking some good positions out. And of course it was him with the volley across for Ohashi that hit it against the bar, so just got to keep him back, get him defending.
Rodon for Leeds. To Bogle. The runner started and stopped. Piroe and Nonto further up the park. Rodon through for Piroe. Not a great ball. Dolan will pick that one up. Firpo's come across, and he's not going to get to Dolan here, who's a real runner. Just slows up, and then there's the roll of the ball, and then there's the attempt at what would have been a real cute pass forward. Too cute as it turned out, and picked up by Meslier.
Dolan there just overplayed, didn't he? But you're right, he's a live wire. Got some ability, have to be careful.
Struijk. Now Tanaka. And now Rodon. Through the middle for Piroe. Puts it up in the air for Nonto. It's tight, but Nonto gets it back to Bogle. Bogle through the gap for Aaronson. Puts his cross, well, tried to get it into the middle, but it was headed away before it got past Bart. And so it will be a Leeds United throw-in, level with the edge of the Blackburn Rovers box. Bogle with ball in hand. Nonto back to Bogle. Trying to move into the penalty area. Tanaka tees it up for Nonto. Nonto takes his man on. Cuts it back from the byline, does he? No, can't get enough on it. It's just gone over the line, so it's a goal kick.
Is he okay? Because Nonto certainly challenged heavily as he was heading towards the hoarding.
I think he's crashed into the hoarding, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly pushed into it as well, because he had to get his cross in, but after that, dangerous push has sent him flying.
Nonto looking somewhat rueful, rubbing the back of his head, but back on the pitch and not requiring treatment.
Pears going long again, that's no fun.
Once bitten and all that. And the players in a group over to the left of the pitch. That's where the ball drops now. Tanaka with Cantwell. Cantwell brings it under control. And then Aaronson gets in to try and wrestle it off him. And then Leeds end up, not quite sure how anybody makes the decision in the midst of all of that, but Leeds end up with a free kick. Cantwell appeals his innocence. Leeds go back. Struijk. Square to Rodon. Again, he's allowed to move the ball forward. Curls his cross in over the head of Firpo. Really bad shape on that one, but James isn't going to get to it beyond the penalty area. And it rolls behind for a goal kick.
Well, that was almost very good, wasn't it? Rodon this time. Rodon's trying to slide something in. Actually crosses on the diagonal. Good run from Firpo, but just a yard too high.
Strange silence kind of settled over
It
the
is.
stadium here. Without the noise from the Leeds end, there isn't any, is there?
No, not at all.
And our friend to my left is, at the moment, a little quieter.
Let's hope he stays that way.
I very much hope that's the case. 8 minutes to go before the board goes up to tell us how much longer in this half. Blackburn in front. Dolan on the ball again. Curls his cross. Bogle heads it away. Cantwell underneath it. Aaronson also turned into trouble there, and Tronstad takes it away from him.
Done that a few times, turning into trouble. Really needing to get hold of the ball and hopefully get hold of it further up the pitch.
Pears, long ball, headed on well by Ohashi. Rodon behind him. Tronstad nods it down to Cantwell. Cantwell gets it back again. Now on the halfway line, working back towards his own penalty area. Tronstad, and then back into Pears in the penalty box. Pears does take the short pass, this time it works. Stroking hard on Dolan, but Cantwell's just chipped it up, and now Ohashi's got away from Tanaka. He's up to the edge and into the penalty area. Cantwell's arrived to help him out. Cantwell back to Ohashi, and then Brittain. Well, this time his ball across is nothing like as good as it was earlier in the game. Well overhit and out for a throw-in.
Well, thankfully, but they work it really well, don't they? And the little chip puts Brittain in plenty of space again.
They've won 5 games here at home so far this season. 1 draw, a couple of defeats. So they've been pretty strong in front of their own fans. They've suddenly picked up in the last couple of games away from home as well, with those wins at Cardiff and Middlesbrough. Certainly one of the teams you'd expect to be somewhere around these leading positions at the end of the season.
Yes, and what they're showing at the moment is plenty of tenacity. Yes, they're organised. They can play as well, but they really have got some fight about them.
Ball from Gnonto to James. James is in the penalty area, trying to put it into the path of Aaronson, and then just catches his man, and didn't quite work out the way Dan James was anticipating perhaps there. Leeds had bodies forward, but not able to exploit the position from the edge of the area.
Just delayed. The ball was on earlier, but James then might have been better off crossing or going on his own.
Blackburn free kick will not necessarily be taken swiftly here, as we are inside the final 5 minutes of this first half. Pears, Struijk got the nudge, but still managed to win the header. James not so. And Brittain goes back to Danny Bart, and then into the midfield to Travis, the captain, who works it wide down the left side. Aaronson wins his tackle. Now Bogle picks up on the loose ball. Then Bogle shows too much of it to Travis, and Blackburn have it back as Leeds were setting off, looking like they could build something. Now got to do a job at the other end, and Tanaka is over covering for Bogle, who's still trying to get back, and done a rather good job of it as well, as he's kept the ball in play and then played a lovely pass up the line. And now Leeds can come forward with Aaronson suddenly invited to stretch his legs, and there are players through the middle. Aaronson's trying to pick one of those out now. It's come for James on his chest in the penalty box, puts it up in the air towards the far post. Aaronson back. Well, I think he was trying to get it back into the middle, but he put too much on it and it went up and over the crossbar instead.
It's a miss kick. Really should do so much better. And Aaronson just needs to side foot that one back across goal. I'm sure that's what he was trying to do, but got it all wrong. Good ball initially to that far stick. When it comes back as well, just pull it back, and that's not what he wanted to do. All we needed.
So we are a couple of minutes away from the 45, and Leeds are still a goal behind here. Goal scored from the penalty spot by that man Cantwell. Tanaka hit it at Rothwell, who tried to do something with it. And then the free kick is given for a little pull back on Tanaka there. And here it is, he'll take it to Rothwell. Struijk to James. Leeds not able to move forward here, which is what they'd want to be doing as we move into the closing stages of this first period. Rodon sets off now. Nonto with a chance to come wide, wasn't it? Now they have come, but just given Blackburn a little more chance to get in shape perhaps here as James gets a ball, good looking ball into the middle, headed away, Nonto underneath it, Rothwell waits, gives it to Tanaka. Tanaka maybe thought about a shot, goes Bogle instead as his option. 2 in front of Jayden Bogle, so he goes back to Piroe. Piroe curls a nice looking ball into the middle, but between Firpo and Nonto, the ball was cleared away, and now here's Dolan with a great ball into the path of Tronstad, and then Ohashi in the Leeds half needs defending. Rodon does that job, and that gets Blackburn back away from their own penalty area.
Yeah, it's good play. When we put the cross in, Brittain actually really good defending at that far stick as well. Gets the ball away. We're not finding this easy, are we? And Blackburn with that goal in front, making things rather difficult for us.
Cantwell will give Nonto a little shove there. The appearance is that certainly Nonto is in distress. So the whistle goes to stop play, and we'll have 2 added minutes, which we are now in.
2 minutes added time.
Nonto will add a little to that once Cantwell's helped him back to his feet here. Gives the Leeds player a little hug. And then the game will be Blackburn's to restart. Back it goes from Hyam to the keeper Pears. And now Batth. Out wide left side. Beck down the line. Flicked on by Tanaka. Aaronson's not going to keep that one in play. Came at him fast. And Blackburn have the ball out over the touchline. And there's a real lack of pace to their efforts to get the game going again now, with 1 more minute of this first half remaining. They will be delighted, I'm sure, to have the lead as the 2 teams head off. Leeds throw in. Now Rothwell trying to just disrupt things before half-time. Well, he almost did, but not in the way that he was meaning to there. Showed a little bit too much of it to Cantwell. Got away with it. Leeds have the ball back again. Here's Tanaka. Ooh, just about finds its way to Rodon. Tanaka, deep cross for Firpo. Touch into Nonto. Cleared away from Nonto. And now Dolan gives it straight to Struijk. Firpo will find Rodon, and that will take us to just about the conclusion. We'll know a little bit more for the Nonto treatment. So Leeds are able to come forward once more with Tanaka. Anxious whistles from the home supporters. James puts it up into the box beyond Nonto. Sort of position where you want a 6'2" striker rather than Willie Nonto coming to attack it, and that's the last action of the first half. And well, Leeds have had their moments, but so very much of Blackburn Rovers, and they've had the big moments so far. The penalty from Cantwell, which is the difference between the 2 sides at half-time. Blackburn 1, Leeds United 0.
Yes, and certainly the home side started extremely well when they had one shot crashing off the bar. We could have been 1-0 down. After that, we got ourselves back in the game. Had a couple of half chances, more so through their keeper than anything else, and our good play didn't quite end up in the back of the net. We didn't take those opportunities. It's a tough 45 minutes, Blackburn certainly showing plenty of energy. Need to try and push them back a bit more, show a bit more quality in the second half and get ourselves back in.
More needed, much more needed. Half-time scoreline, Blackburn Rovers 1, Leeds United 0.
Well, the game's really heating up now. Keeping that energy flowing. Talk about control. Constant, steady performance, no matter the weather. Lovely charge forward there. That was smart play.
magical is living in my house. If I spill or make a mess, the next moment it's magically gone. I never see them, but they get everywhere. Is it fairies or mini little people? Is it you? Everything is so sparkly, sparkly. Mummy says try not to make too much mess, so we don't scare them away.
No magic, no spells, just astonish.
Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits. Where wild animals roam. And around every corner is a new adventure. Where you live amongst nature and giant rabbits come and say hello. Escape to Flamingo Land. Book your day pass online at flamingoland.co.uk.
Oh, new TV?
Yeah, it's the new Hisense Mini LED.
Should have asked me what to get. We've got a 65-inch with Mini LED, but you've got to be paying at least $2,000 for that.
Actually, this one has all those features and more, and we didn't pay anything like that. Looks great, doesn't it?
Okay, big 45 minutes on the way and work to do for Leeds United this afternoon. Simon Grayson and Don Matteo joining us in the Matchday Live studio today. Simon, what have you made of that first 45 minutes? Been a pretty open game. Blackburn obviously getting the crucial moment.
Yeah, it's been one of them games where Blackburn have had their moments, we've had our moments. I think we said it before the game. When you get them big moments, we've got to sort of make sure we get the outcome right in our favour, and hasn't been that case tonight. Today, you saw Gnonto have the one-on-one chance with the goalkeeper when it was 0-0, and before you know it, we make a mistake and it becomes a penalty. And Blackburn, to be fair to them, have defended quite well. They've attacked with a purpose, and there hasn't been a lot in the game, really. We haven't been the dominant team as such, but we've had some clear chances. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, if I'm being honest.
Dom?
Yeah, I totally agree. It has been a mixed bag. I think we've seen, obviously, we got lucky as well when they hit the bar as well. So they've had chances, they've had the threat as well. But I think defensively we could have done a little bit better with that. I mean, Tanaka's obviously, that's before that, obviously Struik's been done basically, and the ball comes in and Tanaka's in the wrong place and, a penalty. So it's, just them small moments in a game that can just change things.
Well, let's take a look at that moment then. That is the one that splits the teams right now, and it was the penalty. You just sort of spoke about it there, Tom. Yeah. Let's take a look at how this unfolded, really, because just talk us through this defensively then.
Well, Pascal's pretty quick, but the other guy was a bit sharper and got in there, and then obviously Tanaka's just stuck his leg out, and it looks like a penalty. I think we kind of all agreed on that. It's a bit of a soft one, being honest, but it's a pen. He got the wrong side, and that's what happens. I think defensively, from the moment that ball comes in here, look there. It's not like Pascal to get done like that. He got done quite easily, and then Tanaka just barged in, and obviously he's got the.
It's just inside the box, isn't it, Sam? Do you think it's the sort of things maybe I can just get him here before he's in the box?
Yeah, it was just one of them things as well. Pascal was a little bit lazy in his defending, didn't really show him one way. You wanted to get him on the outside of him there and get him down the outside. And as he's come inside, Tanaka's done what he wants to do, come across and try to cover him, but his momentum has carried him into Tanaka, and he's collided and give the referee quite an easy decision, really. And you see Meslier go the right way, but just couldn't quite get a hand on a decent penalty from Cantwell. So a poor goal, really, which I think could have been rectified a little bit easier and made a little bit more difficult for the opposition to get.
So can I just ask you very quickly on that? But there was a bit of a sort of discussion. You see this from time to time with players before penalties about who's going to take it. I always look at it, I think there's clearly a pecking order that someone, it's obviously Cantwell, he's obviously the penalty taker. So how do they get in those situations, players?
Well, there's a designated penalty taker before the game, but sometimes players who have got the penalty, the ball drops them, and then all of a sudden they think, I've got a great opportunity to get a goal to my name, and I'm going to put it down. But fair play to, I think it was Travis, the captain, came over, says no to Tyrese Dolan, look, you're not taking it. Cantwell's a designated penalty taker, and he puts it in the back of the net. And these things happen sometimes.
That's how it should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
You're there for a reason to take that, and he did, and he took it well, to be fair. Great penalty.
The only time you don't have the designated penalty taker take it, if he refuses to take it or doesn't fancy it, he might be having a poor game, and he's saying, I don't really want it, I'll give it to somebody else. And but on this occasion, there were two of them fighting over it.
Yeah, if your player turns around and says, I don't really fancy it today, they're not your top penalty taker anymore, aren't they, surely?
Well, yes and no, because sometimes people might be having a poor game and the confidence levels are certainly not as high as they should be. But I remember having players who you would think were good penalty, centre forwards who scored lots of goals for me, but were not very good at taking penalties. And if they don't want to take them, you can't force them to take them.
OK, let's take a look at some of the other action from the first half, because like you mentioned, there's been chances at both ends. Both teams have had opportunities to score goals, and I mean, this was the first early sort of warning shot here, wasn't it, from Ohashi?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he probably should have scored, shouldn't he? Let's be brutally honest. It was a great ball in, dug it out well, and he'll be fuming that didn't go in the back of the net. I mean, look, Diag there, can we get a bit tighter? Not really, because it was a great delivery, but it should really be a goal. Great play from Blackburn.
Willie Gnonto's been very much in the action for Leeds and showing his threat, Sam, just nipping in there. We've had a couple of opportunities where players have just nipped in and giving himself a great opportunity.
Yeah, they've set the trap, knowing that Blackburn are going to play out from the back, and got on the front foot and dispossessed the midfield player. And to be fair, he's done reasonably well. Maybe could he have gone down the side of him, but the goalkeeper came out really well and smothered it. So good pressing, but just the wrong execution, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think there's been some good stuff as well, but again, we're looking for that finish, aren't we? I mean, that wasn't really a proper chance, but he got his head on it. couldn't really do much with it. But again, it's just when we talk about finishers, we haven't really got an out-and-out finisher. I know we've got Piroe, but I just generally think that's one of the things we're missing.
Another chance here, and really talking about setting the trap, just being in those moments doesn't quite get it away, and link up here between Aaronson and Dan James, but again in that crucial moment, not quite the ball.
Yeah, the Piroe one, I just thought he could have gone in with a little bit more conviction.
Yeah,
this one comes back across, and Aaronson has got caught in two minds, not really gone with a real positive attitude to do either one thing or the other, either hit it on the volley hard and across, or actually set it back to about the penalty spot for somebody. He's got caught in two minds and come up with nothing really, and that's probably summed up where we've been in that first half, doing some good things but not quite getting the end product or the right decision making.
It's a goal up, of course, to Blackburn at the moment, but one thing that first half suggests is that there'll be plenty more chances, plenty more opportunities. It seems like it's that kind of game at the moment, Dom, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems very open. Both teams are at it, both teams are having a go. I think defensively, Blackburn have done okay, but we know with our pace and the players we have, will he make a change at half-time? Probably not sure about that, but he will make one if he needs to. Hopefully he makes it nice and early, so it gives them a chance to get into the game. But yeah, it's been a difficult game. It's been a good game, actually. Both teams have been at it, but I just expected us to be slightly better in that final third.
Yeah, I just look at it, and from coach's point of view, I'm probably looking to make a change either at half-time or, which I don't think Daniel will do because he doesn't do that often, but quite early into the second half. Maybe Aaronson has not really affected the game for so far. Maybe bring in Nonto can go as a 10, and you bring in on, well, Solomon or Radzani. You've got some great options. That's a big thing that we spoke about before the game. We've got the firepower. Even Piroe's not done a great deal. Is it an opportunity for Joseph to go and make a mark on his game, on this game? Well, we've got the opportunities to come off that bench and affect the game and get back into it.
Managerially speaking, it's always interesting, that balance between saying to a player, all right, maybe the first 45 didn't quite work, but I'm giving you the chance to go out and make the impact without taking them off too early. It's a bit of a balancing act, I would have thought, for keeping players' confidence up and giving them the opportunity, the right wrongs, or go out and make an impact.
Yeah, and as a coach previously, I was one for giving people another 10, 15 minutes, even if they maybe not performed for the first half. Just might get the spark back from sort of something that's said in a dressing room or sort of something that happens, and give them that 10, 15 minutes. But if it's that particular player that you were thinking of taking off and it's still not performing, don't wait 25, 30 minutes, because you're not giving the opportunity for the other player to come on and make an impact, especially when you've got the level of quality coming off the bench as well.
And what we have seen is that when those players that we talked about pre-match have come off from the bench in these last few games, they've made impact. There are players sat there waiting to go when called upon.
Yeah, they've certainly made a difference when we've done that. But I think we kind of, we've obviously spoke about that. Does he make his changes at half-time? Probably won't, will he? But if he does, great. Because I think that's what the fans are looking for. Sometimes them early, give them a chance to get into the game, especially for a striker. They need 20 minutes, half an hour maybe to get into it and get a couple of chances, then get the goal or whatever. But yeah, I just think there's moments where we can be a little bit more clinical. But when you look at the game, sometimes there's not enough people in the box. We deliver balls in because we've got so much pace in the wide areas, but we need someone to keep up with playing and just tap that in at the far post. That's just small little details can be so important at times.
And of course, second half they'll be firing towards that massive bank of 7,000 Leeds United fans who'll be waiting for their moment to hopefully see something special happen.
Yeah, they'll be trying to suck that ball into that away end, won't they? And as we said before the match, there'll be, if there's any opportunities for some limbs to be flying around at any particular time, it'll be good to see. So it'll be interesting. We've got to start a bit more positively. Move the ball a little bit quicker. Blackburn have got the goal, obviously, to defend and maybe play a little bit deeper and try and hit us on the counter-attack. Got to make sure we don't concede this second goal, because that will give us a big mountain to climb.
Yeah, OK, well, the players are making their way out, as you can see. Ilhan Meslier setting himself up for the second half, and hopefully we can set ourselves up to turn this one around and take some points from Ewood Park. Not that many of the players. Just very quickly, Dom, before the Leeds team come out, what will be the message from Daniel Farke here to the 11 going out?
Be a bit more clinical when you get your opportunity. When you get in there, find the pass properly. I think when we get into certain positions, just put your foot through it. Don't worry about what you're going to do. Just absolutely smash it. I think sometimes we're being too precise. Absolutely smash it, and you never know. You get a deflection, and it falls in the back of the net. So, listen, it was a decent half, but I think we can do a lot better.
OK, let's see if they can do. Second half action on the way for you from Ewood Park. Our commentary team, as always, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo to bring you the second half.
Thanks, Rich. Two teams are out, and compliment, I think, the same in both as it was for the first half. Blackburn Rovers manager John Eustace will surely have been the happier of the two, not just because of the reflection perhaps of the scoreline, but also it was his side who created the better moments, even if Leeds did have a lot of possession and spent a lot of time around that Blackburn Rovers penalty area. He was moving into the penalty area, didn't really bring Leeds what Leeds wanted, so that's something that needs to be remedied in this second half. Leeds United will be kicking towards that huge travelling support, 7,000 fans behind the goal, protected by Ainsley Pears. And he it is, right at the start of this second half, who kicks the ball up into the Leeds half. And it's Blackburn in possession in Leeds territory, with Brittain down the right. Back in it goes to Hyam and back to Brittain again, tight to the touchline. He scoops it out long range to Bart, and Bart gives it back to Pears, who kind of volleys it a long way forward, so much so that when Firpo runs back, only Meslier is beyond him, and now Meslier can take his time with the clearance. He was thinking about going long.
Yeah, he certainly was, or back again, but so the work rate of Dolan just made him think twice.
Pascal Struijk, as a breeze blows across the park here, gives the ball to Joe Rodon. Rodon's attempted pass infield hits the heel of Travis, comes out for a Leeds United throw in.
Just see Travis there, the skipper, and a little word with Cantwell as well, because someone else has got to stop Rodon from coming forward, and Travis thinks it should be Cantwell, not him.
Tanaka in between Struijk and Rodon. Rodon now is closed down by Cantwell. Tanaka has to go back to the keeper, and then gets the ball back off Meslier after Ohashi's disappeared. Tanaka to Rothwell. Now Junior Firpo. Aaronson breaks nicely for Nonto. Protects the ball really well. Gets it down the line for Aaronson. It's going to go out for a Leeds throw. Aaronson takes it into the path of Nonto. Actually heard a foul throw shout from the home fans there. Don't they know? It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that looked like one to me. But we got away with it.
Firpo down the left. Onto Nonto. Back into Firpo. Plays his ball into the near post, and it's cleared away from that position on the edge of the 6-yard area. A good breakaway. Firpo made a good run there, but not for the first time this afternoon. Ball into the middle, didn't find a yellow shirt.
No, and lots of blue and white shirts are there, defending well and in numbers.
Which is all Blackburn have to do, they'll feel, from this point onwards. Leeds are under pressure to break the low block as the ball is cleared up. And as an example of that, Ohashi was the furthest man forward, but nobody in a blue and white shirt anywhere even close to him on the halfway line. Leeds have it back quickly. Now Rothwell. Bogle had gone on a run. He's checked back. Nonto goes down. Tiny bit lucky there, I suspect, yeah. Nonto.
I think you're right. Lewis Travis has done a really good job in that holding midfield area around his back four, just in front, patrolling things there. Gets close to Gnonto. Doesn't do a lot, but Gnonto goes down and goes our way.
Well, Leeds were wanted to take that quickly and short, but now the opportunity presents itself to do something a little more traditional, perhaps, and put the ball into the penalty area. And it would appear that Rothwell is going to do something along those lines.
We need something even more traditional, like stick it in the back of the net.
That would be good. Rothwell. Plays it into the penalty area. Struijk just beaten to it. Nonto gets it back in the mix. Struijk put a little touch down. It was hitting goalwards by Gnonto. Hit a defender on its way. And then just momentarily there was a concern that Dolan was going to get on his way. But actually Leeds got it back quickly. And now, well, Leeds' momentum is thwarted here because there's a player suffering with an injury.
Ohashi, I think he's the one that
took a shot.
Collected the ball and was firing towards his goal. He went down initially, then started to come out, but clearly just winded.
Leeds fans unimpressed, but Gnonto did hit it hard, so I'm entirely surprised that the Blackburn man succumbed, albeit not immediately. Leeds get the ball back, and Struijk has it. Attendance 21,942, 7,501 away fans.
Wow.
Aaronson. Struijk. Now Aaronson again, just about keeps it away from Ohashi. Pascal Struijk in the Blackburn Rovers half, moving up close to the penalty area. Firpo out on the touchline. Comes back for Struijk. Struijk tucks it back for Firpo. On it goes for Aaronson, and then Firpo wriggles his way to the byline, and then it's taken off his toes, and he's out for a corner kick. And Firpo punches the ground in frustration because I think he thought he'd got away there.
It's actually a good challenge from Brittain. He does get the ball. If he mistimes that, it's a penalty, but I don't think it was mistimed. As you can see, does collect the ball.
Leeds at least get this corner. Rothwell goes short to Aaronson. He's going to curl it in instead. Headed away by Ohashi. Bogle underneath it to gather it. Goes backwards, and a little bit of frustration, I think, from the fans behind the goal. That there was time for it. Jayden Bogle just bring it under control and then look forward. Leeds are doing just that now with Tanaka down the left-hand side for Aaronson. Comes in field, Brendan Aaronson. Gives it to Gnonto. Now for Firpo, if he can keep it in, he can't. It was rolled too hard ahead of him, and that goes behind for a goal kick.
Just a heavy touch, but good to see Gnonto get on the ball in and around that 18-yard box. He will certainly make things happen. Blackburn, well, they've started slow. We've started quickly, haven't we? On the front foot, we're pushing them back, but just got to be mindful and concentrated at the back. Don't give them any chances. Can't afford to ship another goal, but we need to get one back to get ourselves in a position to try and get all three.
Flick on by Aaronson. Sheffield United's win last night has Leeds 3 points behind in the table, and now here's Ohashi breaking the lines, and he's into the penalty area, and it's excellent work, as it turns out, from Joe Rodon just to marshal him away from goal there. He also has crashed into the hoardings behind the goal, and Blackburn get a corner kick.
Yeah, excellent defending. He knew he was getting there, the speed that he's got, Joe Rodon, across the ground. Read the danger, got there. Bit awkward though, wasn't it, at the end, which is why he ended up crashing behind the goal, but he's a good yard behind Ohashi, yet still gets there.
Needed to as well. So Leeds have a corner kick to defend for the first time in this second half. Inevitably, it's Cantwell who's going to deliver. Curled in, nice shape on that, to the back post. And Leeds get enough bodies around it to work it away, and now try and make it even better than that, with Bogle on the charge down the left for Leeds. Tackled really well by Travis. They can't prevent it going out for a throw-in, but his job was more important there, to stop the Leeds man in his path.
It's a yellow card, surely.
Oh yeah, for kicking the ball away.
Yeah.
When the Leeds player wanted to take a quick throw-in, prevented from doing so. Travis in the book.
Once again, Travis, really good play initially, wasn't it, to snuff out the danger. The counter-attack was on. The ball from Cantwell in from the corner kick was wonderful. How everyone missed it, I don't quite know. But that set us on our way.
Struijk. Now Rodon. Struijk again. Back to Joe Rodon. Dan James gets the return pass. Curls a nice ball into the middle, but it's headed clear by Hyam. Helped on its way by Beck. Comes out for Firpo. Now Gnonto. Gnonto again trying to get across into the box. Far post. Oh, Bogle was waiting, but Pears knew that. And so the goalkeeper did well to get fingertips to push it away and out of his path.
Oh, really good play. Gnonto again inside the box, just ducks and dives, finds himself a couple of yards. Good ball in. I thought Bogle was going to nod it into the far post, but for the keeper.
Aaronson, back it comes to Bogle, touches heavy, and then that touches heavy too on the back of Cantwell, who goes down and wins his side a free kick. Pears wandering out the penalty area. Bart repositions the ball. Pears asks for clarification. All of this is part of the theatre.
Certainly is.
Rodon with a header. Piroe beaten to it in the air by Bart. So Bogle steps up the line to take control of the ball for Leeds United. This throw in. Looking at his options here, weighing it up. There's plenty of movement, but can't see a space.
Well, there's no one free. Blackburn sticking to us like glue.
Aaronson does well. Now Bogle. Aaronson will pick up this loose ball. He couldn't get it in front of him there. Still has it, gives it back to Tanaka. Short to James. James is fouled. This will be a Leeds free kick just outside the penalty area. Cantwell it was through the back of the Leeds man.
Well, Cantwell was the one that won the free kick by doing exactly the same. Bogle did it on Cantwell, but Cantwell fell for the same trick. James did well, got in front. Cantwell straight through the back. Now this is 23 yards out or so. Quite a nice angle for a left footer.
You'd fancy this.
I would fancy this.
And the question is, who have Leeds got out there at the moment who would fancy this? Haven't really seen signs of there being a Ward-Prowse type free kick specialist or set piece specialist from these kind of positions, but Rothwell is going to attempt to take on the mantle here. Looks more like a cross than a shot. Maybe it is that little bit further out than he would want. We'll shortly see. Rothwell curls it into the box. Heads go up from Struijk. Comes out for Gnonto. Well, it's a brilliant save and it's a brilliant block. And between the two, it denies Leeds an equaliser.
What a ball in. And Pascal with a great header. Just expected the net to ripple, but somehow it was kept out.
Here's James trying to get in from Pears, whose game has picked up immeasurably since that first 20 minutes or so. Here's the man performing the heroics for Blackburn at the back.
Yes, needed some help as well, didn't he, from a defender when Gnonto in on the rebound. The ball's just chipped to the far post, as it was a brilliant header. Straight at the keeper, though, unfortunately.
Bogle up the line for Aaronson. Breaks inside for Piroe. Piroe, well, he knew James was offside, but Bogle can chase still. And Bogle was just a little bit too far away to be able to put real pressure on the defender there. And the ball is allowed to run behind for the goal kick.
We've just got to keep patient here. Certainly, they're going to get more chances. And Blackburn, just like they are now, going to take their time, have a conversation over every single thing that goes on out there.
And then a re-spot of the ball again before finally going short. And then Pears puts it straight into touch. But then that is a foul throw against Gnonto. And I'm guessing that his foot might have been on the pitch. So there we go. After we said there is no such thing anymore, just completely been proved wrong.
Well, we said. I'm not sure I said it, to be honest.
I said.
Now, just leaves the pressure, doesn't it? That sort of thing that Blackburn, they get it back. We've got to just turn that screw, force them into a mistake.
Cantwell. It was almost a moment, but it's a bit of a wild clearance then from Pickering. Rodon. Aaronson beaten by Tronstad. Tronstad again. Rodon appeared to make a little back perhaps from Ohashi there, but referee saw nothing wrong. Oh, that was a heavily telegraphed ball from Rothwell. And, Dolan comfortably read it, but Leeds have quickly got it back. Bogle. James, well, he started and he stopped, and he's not probably going to get to this as a result. And that is the outcome. And Leeds have got a corner kick. So he's done well there.
He has done well.
Not everybody agrees.
Certainly the gentleman to your left, I don't think does.
So Leeds have a chance to put it in the middle, in front of that bank of travelling supporters. Rothwell told to delay as the referee wants words with players in the middle. Rodon and Travis are involved in a discussion with the official. And finally now Leeds can put that ball in the penalty area. Rothwell with the right foot into the middle. Players fell down in the middle then, and so Leeds have lost out. And here's Dolan racing forward for Blackburn before lunge on Firpo there. This is going to be a card, surely, as Firpo was caught high.
Yeah, I don't like the way he's holding his knee. I don't think it was a serious one, but he's gone down, clutching his knee. It was a poor challenge, no doubt. And first glance, it's a yellow.
Yeah, it would appear that Dolan is going to be carded, but only yellow carded. Referee just talking to him still. But, reaction of the Blackburn player suggests it's not the ultimate sanction. Firpo is getting treatment. Daniel Farker watches on. And Blackburn are preparing to make their first change of the afternoon. Either side's first change of the afternoon. With Gueye, the big striker, the big number 9, who's going to come on for them. And Ohashi who's going to come off.
Number 23, Yuki Ohashi. It's number 9, Gueye.
So a very different physical presence comes on, because this guy is a giant, 6'5" tall.
He is. Ohashi worked extremely hard, didn't he? He held the ball up well at times, but his race is run. And you're right, we have a very different proposition now up top.
Maybe in there for set-piece defending as well, given that he's the biggest man out there, I think, now. Rothwell with a short free kick for Leeds United. Gets the ball back off Rodon. 64th minute, still Blackburn 1, Leeds United 0. First half penalty. Rodon. Lights are on here now. It's gone considerably darker. Tanaka forced back.
Yeah, it's good closing down for Blackburn. It really is. They're not just firing off singly to try and close down their holding as a unit. And then when they slowly get closer, they all go.
Rodon. Now Meslier. Tanaka into Nonto. Tanaka to this right side to Rodon. Bogle sets off. That's the direction in which the ball is aimed. Centre half is across and will concede a corner kick. There's Barth who slid in.
Good play. Joe Rodon chipping a nice ball through. Bogle looking to get in behind the defender. Now, set piece. That's where we need that quality again from Rothwell.
James has come short and he's got it off Rothwell. Rothwell takes it past the first challenge. Not quite past the second, but Leeds do still have possession. Well, they've all stayed in the middle, so somebody's got to put it in there. Aaronson is the man. Pears will catch this. He does. And a moment of opportunity passes for Leeds.
Oh, that's a nothing ball in, isn't it? It's just catching practice for the keeper.
25 minutes remaining. Leeds behind, seeking to gain momentum in this second half as Pears tries to suck the life out of the game with another delayed kick. Struik's header flicked on by James. Piroe. Two defenders collided there. Tanaka ends up with the ball. Firpo, a little bit of space for Junior Firpo. Nonto ahead of him. Nonto having the ball now. On it goes to Firpo on the overlap. Firpo's cross in, headed away beyond Aaronson and out to Dolan. And Gueye, the sub, is in support. Dolan at the moment doesn't need him and holds the ball and does well. Jinks this way and that, and is finally surrounded by yellow shirts, and Tanaka gets at least a foot in. And then suddenly there's a ball over the top as Travis has spotted space and Rodon has to go and defend it, and in doing so concedes a corner.
And the Blackburn Rovers fans go crazy for another corner. No one really up in support of Dolan, but he did really well to keep the ball. And that one run from midfield caught us out.
So Blackburn's first opportunity for quite a while to push players up the park and into that Leeds penalty area. Obviously they've got the added height presence of Gueye in there now. Another problem for Leeds to deal with. And it comes towards the head of Hyam. Still on the edge of the area, shot goalwards. It's an easy catch for Meslier. Meslier's in a hurry to try and get things going here. In the end, just bowls it out underarm to Joe Rodon. And Tanaka back to Rodon. Aaronson. Now Rothwell. Left side to Firpo. Infield to Piroe. Manages to get it to Aaronson. Aaronson to Nonto. Nonto, well, he's wriggled through two challenges there and he's still going. And he's played out towards Bogle on this near side of the penalty area. Bogle on his left foot curls it in towards the penalty spot. Headed clear. And it comes back out for Tanaka. Tanaka just about works it to Struijk. And does
Stop
well.
it.
Now, from the far side, it's Leeds trying to attack with a cross in again, perhaps here. James. Oh, it's beyond Nonto and short of Bogle. Just an indication that Blackburn are changing their focus here when the ball went forward and a single blue and white shirt anywhere close to it. Leeds managed to get a nice ball swept out to Nonto into the byline. Nonto trying to get into the penalty area. But, it'll be cleared by Dolan. Well, no, he's run it straight into Pascal Struijk of all people, and then Struijk is closed down by Brittain, and Leeds end up with a throw-in.
Well, good strong challenge from Brittain, but excellent play.
Triple
from Pascal
change
Struijk
coming
as
from
well.
Leeds United. So Solomon and Ramazani and Bamford are all coming on. Piroe is the first man off. Aaronson is the second. And will it be Nonto or James, perhaps, who's the third? No.
Nonto.
It's Nonto who's the third off.
Substitution for Leeds United, replacing number 10, Joe Piroe, number 11, Brendan Aaronson, and number 29, Willie Nonto, and number 9, Patrick Bamford, number 14, Manor Solomon, and
So a complete switch around up front for Leeds United.
Yeah, and this is what we got, this is what we can do, and we should do. Now, fresh ideas, good players out there, just as good a quality as the ones that come off, so let's see if we can get back in this game.
21 minutes remaining, Leeds still trail. Rothwell, now Rodon. Invited to cross it, perhaps. No, he's played it into the... Well, he tried to play it into the path. Ramazani made a good run, but Rodon had overhit his ball.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But now we have a different option, haven't we, up top as well, with Bamford, with the extra height.
Pears elects to go long. Daniel Farke, a raised eyebrow down on the touchline, no doubt. Rodon with a header forward. Here's Bamford. Taken away from him, but into touch by Bart. And now Bogle. Leeds in a hurry to get the game going with Rodon. Attack, attack, attack is the chant from the Leeds fans behind the goal. Don't think the players are going to try and do anything other than that as they advance ever deeper into this game, and a goal at least needs scoring here. And suddenly Blackburn had the chance to open things up themselves with Cantwell. Hits the heels of Firpo, but still spins into the path of Dolan. And back to Cantwell again. And then given away, but Bamford can't quite keep it in play. So Blackburn end up with a throw-in.
There's always two elements of a game, attack and defence, and I don't know how much of the ball you got. And yes, we are going to attack, but concentrated at the back is still vital. And there, Blackburn almost caught us out.
I guess there might be more minutes like that, or moments like that, as Leeds increasingly push and search. Bogle.
Well on.
Oh.
Not sure he can hear me. What do you think?
But
No?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, he was charging back at Bogle. He was taking his time. Anyway, kept it away. He heard. Now here's Solomon rather, out wide left side to Firpo. Plays his cross in towards the penalty area, and it's kicked behind for a corner kick.
Well, that clearance there looked another hurried and panicked one, so keep the pressure on, keep pushing them back.
Again, Leeds with plenty in the penalty area. Rothwell aims to deliver. In it comes from Rothwell now. Struijk beaten in the air by Bart, comes out for Solomon. Ramazani, nice play to get it to Tanaka. Cross is blocked and gets diverted away from the penalty area. And then straight up in the air from the defender. Somewhat fortuitously, Blackburn break forward with the ball in their possession. Dolan taking on Solomon. Goes past Firpo, runs the ball into touch.
No card for Ramazani. That was surely not the case. And Lewis Travis is going to milk this one for all he's worth.
Yeah.
And everyone can see that. And why can't the referee?
Ramazani was the man who challenged him. Travis stayed down while the play continued. Presume it was an advantage played. Travis is back on his feet. And the game will restart with a Leeds United throw-in right at the other end of the park. More time ticks away. Struijk. To Rodon. John Eustace appears on the edge of his technical area. Still hasn't conceded a goal against Leeds United. As a manager. Solomon. Now Rodon. James. Return ball from Bogle. Manages to get it back, but not to a teammate. And then Beck advances and slides through challenges and then gives it away. Hands to his head in frustration because now it gives Leeds the chance to swing the pendulum in the other direction.
On the counter, that's where we need to exploit it quickly.
Here's Solomon. Into the penalty area he goes. Runs into too many blue and white shirts there. Defending well in the box, Blackburn Rovers. Two experienced centre-halves doing their job in there.
They are. Brittain there as well. He's had a really good game at right back for Blackburn.
Ramazani close to the keeper, too close to the keeper. Easy catch for Pears.
Well, we certainly have it all to do. Blackburn hanging on manfully. Haven't really opened them up often enough, but the changes we made, we need to see the fruits of those.
Forward it goes. Struijk with a header. Bogle can't find a lead shirt. Beck. Now Travis. And then the ball played out wide intelligently to Brittain to weigh up his cross into the middle. Rodon waiting there. Bamford little push.
Again, you can see that one a mile off. I mean, Cantwell, all he's going to do is just control the ball, get his body in the way. Got to be a little bit smarter than that. And this is going to take an age, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, it's in the Leeds half, which is where Blackburn aim to be. And Leeds have defending to do when they want to be attacking. So the two-man wall was a two-man wall, is now a one-man wall. Ramazani goes to pick up Dolan on the edge of the area. Cantwell will take the free kick for Blackburn Rovers. Whipped in again. Another great free kick. James is able to only give it back to Cantwell. And then he breaks through the lines and he shoots and he puts it wide. Well, that dropped so invitingly to him that he'd run through and everyone just stood and waited and watched basically to see what the outcome was going to be. And he could have wrapped it up there and he didn't.
Well, it was Cantwell's brilliant free kick initially. And you're right, he just took a gamble, carried on, didn't he? And got a touch, kept going. It dropped from a great height and it took an age, fortunately for us. He fluffed his lines.
Bogle. Too long, too straight, too easy for the keeper. Pears picks it up just as Bamford arrives. Words are exchanged. And then Pears is allowed to keep just
more
walking.
time taken, yeah.
Struijk battles with Gueye. Dolan picks up the clearance. Now Brittain, we've seen a bit more of Blackburn advancing in these last couple of minutes, which is the last thing Leeds want, as they now have space down that left side. Cross into the middle, is inviting and is just spun up over the crossbar from Cantwell, who again had the moment to finish it, and it ends up going behind for a corner.
Well, I'm not quite sure how that one's been kept out, but it's brilliant defending in the end, but opened up once more. Too easy, just a ball straight over the top, and when it is cut back, Cantwell, I thought, was going to tuck it away, but he managed to survive, just.
It was a great block right in front of Meslier, but now there's more defending for Leeds to do. Cantwell has come to this near side for the corner. Inside the final 15 minutes here at Ewood Park. And the home side have the lead and they have a corner kick. Home supporters very much finding their voices now. Good ball in, headed away by Firpo. Travis tries the spectacular half volley. It bounces well wide. And Leeds finally get the ball back in their possession. Rothwell back to Rodon. Now Solomon. Solomon stops and comes back for Struijk. Square to Rodon. Rodon, well, there's not an option available in anything like a attacking position, so he goes short to Struijk, to Firpo. Rothwell in the middle. Two solid banks in front of them. Solomon. Now Rothwell. James is the option. Dan James curls in low, but it's come off the defender and gone behind. It was Owen Beck who diverted it behind. And it's going to be a corner kick for Leeds again.
I think it was let's see, Travis, but I mean the ball, wasn't a great one, but here we go again, another set piece. We've had a few.
10 to go, and Leeds have a big job to do here to take anything from this fixture. Players being offered behind that goal. Referee wants words. Bamford is involved. So this will delay things considerably. Patrick Bamford argues his case. And finally we'll have the corner taken. No, we won't, because now there's another little incident for the referee to go and deal with. There's a Blackburn man down on the ground. All a bit silly. Now he's being called. No, he isn't being called out. Now the corner can be taken. We've wasted the best part of a minute with all of that. So here's Rothwell. Different delivery. Over the head of Struijk. Headed down towards goal. Flag is up. And whilst it hits the post, and then it's put in, offside had long since been called. And Ramazani protests, but that flag was raised some time ago.
Unfortunately, it certainly was, but some of the defending there from Blackburn, it's really frustrating because it was Lewis Travis there and Rodon. So Travis isn't even looking at the ball. All he's doing is putting his arms around Rodon, just stopping him running. He's looking away from the ball. That can't be right.
Change for Leeds with Matteo Joseph coming on and Joe Rothwell coming off. So it really is all in now for these final 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how this lineup's going to work. We're
well,
about to find out.
I think it'll be 4-1-3-2. So Tanaka will just have to sit there on his own. It'll be Ramazani, James and Solomon, and then two up top.
Here is Solomon. Back to Firpo. And now Solomon down the left. Over the halfway line he goes. And it's back into his own half to Struijk. Now Solomon again. Firpo into Joseph. Joseph to attack the box here. Into the penalty area. Stopped. Too many in front of him there as he tried to make his way through the crowd. Leeds win the ball back with Bogle. Struijk doing a good job on Gueye. Ramazani's come deep. Giving it to James. James still going. Players waiting at the far post. Over the head of Bamford. Maybe that just takes it away from Joseph. Is it a corner kick? Yes, it is. So the touch was off a defender.
Oh, vital touch as well from a Blackburn player. Wonderful from Bogle. And Bamford knows that was half a chance, but for the defender's touch.
So the attempt to get a set piece that works here comes via Solomon. Curls it in goalwards. Heads up to the far post it goes. And there's a collision between Struijk and Rodon there. That's left both on the ground. That was Bamford and Struijk, isn't it? No,
yes.
Struijk has walked away from it. Apologies. It's
Bamford's down and Struijk's just getting up and going back.
As well, yeah.
I can guarantee if that was Blackburn, we'd be down there for 5 minutes.
Well, both our back up, although the physio is on. In fact, both are being checked in the aftermath of that. And we now have 6 of the 90 remaining. Time is ebbing away from Leeds United here. And a chance just to take a point from this fixture would be deemed a success at this late stage of the game.
Well, there's no doubt we've had a few chances along the way, but today we haven't taken any of them.
Still Bamford requiring assistance here. So that brings proceedings to a halt. Blackburn know that they are close here to recording a 3rd straight championship win. Putting themselves on the very fringe of the playoff places ahead of with the other games ongoing.
Yes, they're in a handy position, of course, with a game in hand as well. There's still a few minutes left yet. And hopefully we've got something to say about it.
The longer the Bamford treatment goes on, the more concerning it will be from his perspective as to whether he's going to be able to carry on here.
Can't actually see what he's done. All our physios are around him, helping him, but he's on his knees, so... Is it a head injury? Is it a finger or... I don't know, I can't tell.
Finger.
Hey?
Finger.
I'm just thinking dislocated finger, because
right.
he seems to be just the way that he is. I'm not sure. I can't see any closer. Oh, they're just wrapping his head. I think it's if it's blood, I suppose.
For those who've got eyes on different angles of this, that there is a head injury involved here, and that's why we have 3 members of the medical team dealing with Patrick Bamford. So that may be significant. So we are moving ever closer to the 90th minute.
And to be fair, if you collide with Pascal Struijk, there is only one winner there. Hopefully Bamford is okay.
Brought on to try and make a difference. He's not really had the opportunity to do that, and what he won't want is for his game to finish early anyway.
Well, no, it's been hard for Bamford, hasn't it? Obviously, with the injuries he's had, he's trying to, come back and contribute. Can't really catch a break, but hopefully here he's okay.
Well, he's back up. He's changing shirts, so there's clearly blood involved.
Yep.
And it would appear that he's going to carry on.
Good to see.
Bamford is okay. So the game resumes with a ball in the hands of the goalkeeper.
Can he stay on the pitch, Bamford, after that?
Oh, I think that's what the shouts are about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the answer is apparently yes. I don't know.
I think we're making rules up as we go along here.
I'm not disappointed.
No, me neither.
Leeds have 2 minutes of the 90. As Rodon is beaten by Gueye. Joseph goes to chase. Brittain gets there ahead of him. And then Dolan waits for the dropping ball. And he's happy just to hook it over his shoulder as it goes a long way forward up into the Leeds half for a Struijk throw in. Rodon. Once it goes to Struijk, now Firpo. Leeds fans still trying to lift the team even at this late stage of the game. Firpo gets a return ball. Clear for Joseph. back to Tanaka. And Bogle has James waiting wide. Dan James, in it goes to Ramazani. Puts it into the area, but Cantwell's gone down now. Touching the back of his leg. And so, whether real or imagined, there's going to be another break in play here.
Was that a collision with Matteo Joseph or not?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just when he put his boot through it to clear it out the edge of the area, and immediately put his hand to his hamstring, back of the thigh, and collapsed to the ground.
Well, they are using every trick in the book here. Okay, he might be actually injured. Let's see if he plays on or not, but certainly taking their time, and all these breaks in the game, of course, favours the home side.
And you kind of fancy there must be close to double figures going up on the board any second now. It's down below. I can be able to confirm in the next 2 seconds. Or not, as the case may be. 9 minutes to be added on. And obviously, at this stage, we haven't even resumed play here. And there's a change being made by Blackburn. So Cantwell is going to come off. And the man who's coming on for them instead is Ryan Hedges. The goal scorer gets warm applause for his performance. And Ryan Hedges, the Welsh international, will come on in his place.
9 minutes at a time. 9 minutes.
Well, we're up to the first of those 9 already, and the game is yet to resume. So now we must be beyond.
Must be 10, surely.
10 plus now, because we just had a substitution as well. Rodon. The Blackburn fans in the main stand do the old Iceland thing again. Dolan underneath it in the centre circle. Breaks for Rodon. Not a great ball from Joe Rodon. And Gueye. Offside. Meslier has to come anyway. And Dolan hits the back of the net, but it was all for nothing. So Leeds with the free kick. Tanaka in possession. Out wide to Solomon. Moving it forward at pace, Manor Solomon. In it goes to Joseph. Comes off defender, doesn't come back for Solomon. Played into touch for a Blackburn throw in. Hits Struijk on its way. So reluctantly, the Leeds players have to head back towards the halfway line. Throwing down the touchline.
21,942.
Leeds in that Blackburn half with Struijk. Plays it through the channel for Bamford, just outside the area. Can't get his ball into the middle. Leeds have a throw in. Mid-position between the edge of the box and the corner flag. Back it comes to Struijk. And then back wide left side to Firpo. Puts his cross into the middle. Comes back out for Tanaka. Tanaka shoots, but it's blocked. Ramazani couldn't control it. Spun away from him. And now Gueye will chase, but he won't get there as the ball is up into the Leeds half, and then attempts to prevent the quick take of the throw in by kicking the ball away. Leeds quickly back with the ball on the pitch.
Yes, grab a different one. Just won't drop for us there. And Ramazani, his touch was a poor one, otherwise he just might have had a chance to strike at goal.
Firpo. Rodon in the centre circle. Bogle. Wide right side to Dan James. In it goes to Ramazani. Back it goes to Bogle. shifts feet, gives it to Ramazani, gives it into Solomon. He and Ramazani almost collide, but Joseph slips, goes to ground, loses the ball, given away. Tanaka wins it, and then it comes out for Bamford, who tries a shot. Well, he dragged that one. Leeds appeal for a touch from the keeper, but Pears really surely must have known that was going to go wide.
Yeah, a long way out as well. Good 25, nearly 30 yards out. Pascal Struijk does really well just to step in and win the ball back early.
So we're guessing now, but 5 minutes plus, I'd say, still to go here. Pears to take his time over the goal kick, inevitably. Straight into touch, awful kick from Pears. And then the fourth official goes to retrieve the ball from somewhere in the tunnel. Bogle throws it back to Rodon. Carries it. And still tucks it into Bamford. Play through Joseph. Now James trying to get space for a cross. Dan James tackled hard, tackled fairly, and then into the middle it goes, where it's won by Rodon, but then lost by Ramazani. And then Gueye is through, but Meslier has come miles out the penalty area to get there before the attacker. Can't keep the ball in play though. Out it goes for a throw in.
Great positioning from Meslier, it really is. Otherwise, Gueye would have been clear, bearing down on goal. Instead, good 10-15 yards out of his box as a starting position, gets there and clears the danger up.
Dolan is named the home team's man of the match. Primarily, I'd say, for his first half performance. Haven't really seen too much of the ball in this second half. Leeds have dominated the possession, but in fairness, have not created enough chances from all that possession as Meslier. Clearance goes straight to Travis. Ramazani leans into him, daft foul to give away. And the referee was watching, and Travis stays down on the turf. Ramazani isn't going to tempt him back to his feet that quickly.
And that all came about because of the work rate from Dolan. I mean, you're right, he hasn't had much to do in the second half with the ball, but without the ball, Blackburn have worked extremely hard, and none more so than him. He's just sprinted across. Meslier likes it on his left foot. Instead, he had to use his right. And what does that mean? It's a poor clearance. They win it back, and here's a free kick. So just by that bit of work rate, they get their reward.
Somewhere in the region of 3 minutes to go. And Blackburn are well up in the Leeds half. They've done another throw in. Almost level with the edge of the Leeds box down below here. And Beck has the ball. Thrown towards a corner flag, inevitably. And put behind, goal kick. Meslier sprints to get the ball and to play it out to the left of the penalty area, and Firpo. Infield to Struijk. Struijk to Rodon. Leeds moving up as a unit. Now James. First time ball played into Bogle. Good challenge on Bogle, but he's kept onto the ball really well. And then he tries to curl his cross in. It's gone too deep though. It's going to drop behind. And you'll hear the reaction from the home supporters there as that one sails out for a goal kick.
Well, we've tried to move it forward quickly, but final ball, again, just not quite enough. They've defended well, haven't they, Blackburn? However, they certainly should have been and could have been better in possession. The two centre-halves have been big and strong and won just about everything.
Yeah. Batth and Hyam have had good games at the back. Again, Pears just puts his goal kick straight into touch. It hits almost exactly the same position. Unerring accuracy, but they're all flying straight into down the tunnel, basically. So Leeds have the throw-in. Rodon to Tanaka. 99th minute now. Struijk. Left side is Firpo. In it goes to Joseph, but nobody behind Joseph. Flag up offside. Bamford presumably coming from an offside position. Free kick to Blackburn on the edge of their area.
Well, the home fans are thinking they're nearly taking all 3 points home with them, but is there another chance for us? Let's see. Time's ticking.
Well, we're into that area now where we don't know how much is added because we're at the 9 minutes, which was on the board. So it's whatever was on top of that before the game restarted. It isn't long. It may not be long enough. Whistles, as you'd guess, from the home supporters. Header from Rodon. Can't keep the ball in play. Just not happening for Leeds at the moment. And Blackburn have the chance to eat into the added time with a throw-in in the Leeds half.
They're calling for, obviously, the ref to blow the whistle, but the ref saying head injury. That's why the time is now being added on.
Free kick Leeds for a push on Firpo. Solomon in field to Tanaka. Oh. Meslier just panics and boots it up in the air. It's kept in play by Firpo and flicked on wide. And Solomon, Blackburn just doing the simple stuff here, putting their foot through it when required. Mellier's raced out this box again. This time he puts it up the line. Doesn't find a teammate. And Dolan, is he onside when he stops this? No, he isn't. So it'll be a Leeds free kick.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's it. Full-time whistle. And Leeds United have fallen to another away defeat here at Ewood Park. A first half penalty was enough for Blackburn Rovers to claim the 3 points. And that huge army of fans behind the goal will go home disappointed because Leeds have missed out on the chance to get back on top of the table. Leeds have lost. The full-time scoreline here, it's finished. Blackburn Rovers 1, Leeds United 0.
Well, unfortunately, a largely disappointing display. Blackburn certainly well organised, showed plenty of intent and endeavour, really stuck to their guns, had a great chance to score early on, missed by hitting the bar, but eventually they took the lead, and after that we came back at them. We had a couple of half chances, couldn't take them, got in some good areas of the pitch, but didn't really take advantage of that. The keeper Pears tried to help us along the way as well, but still we couldn't get that goal to get ourselves back in. And after the changes, largely it was pretty similar. Blackburn fairly comfortable in seeing things out, and for us, well, unfortunately no points today, but we go again.
That's the case, and Leeds United have to get their heads back on it and make sure that next time out they're right back on it, because after a couple of wins on the spin, Leeds have gone down to another away defeat here, and John Eustace again is the man who's done the job against the Leeds United side for the third time in succession, for the third time by a single goal to nil. Not a great day. Leeds players walk off looking pretty unhappy for themselves. The full-time scoreline here, it's finished at Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers 0, Blackburn Rovers 1, Leeds United 0.
Well, the game's really heating up now. Keeping that energy flowing. Talk about control. Constant, steady performance, no matter the weather. Lovely charge forward there. That was smart play.
magical as living in my house. If I spill or make a mess, the next moment it's magically gone. I never see them, but they get everywhere. Is it fairies or mini little people? Is it you? Everything is so sparkly, sparkly. Mummy says try not to make too much mess, so we don't scare them away.
No magic, no spells, just astonish.
Escape to a land where it's no work and all play. There's no such thing as speed limits. Where wild animals roam. And around every corner is a new adventure. Where you live amongst nature and giant rabbits come and say hello. Escape to Flamingo Land. Book your day pass online at flamingoland.co.uk.
Ooh, new TV?
Yeah, it's the new Hisense Mini LED.
Should have asked me what to get. We've got a 65-inch with Mini LED. But you got to be paying at least £2,000 for that.
Actually, this one has all those features and more, and we didn't pay anything like that. Looks great, doesn't it?
So there you go, third game in the space of 7 days, ends in a 1-0 defeat for Leeds United at Ewood Park. And Blackburn Rovers, Simon Grayson and Don Matteo in the studio with us. Disappointing, third game in a week, and just run out a bit of steam at the end maybe?
Yeah, look, we said it would have been a perfect way to finish a week, getting the third win on a trot. It was just one of them games where it looked like the spark was missing. You get to the final third where we expect some of the key players to go and produce something. Everything just sort of fizzled away. We never really worked the goalkeeper as often as I'd like to do. There was the odd pass that was going astray when it really mattered. And yeah, I think you give credit to Blackburn, but we're analysing our own team here, and they probably didn't do enough to get something out of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably just not enough quality in that final third. And when we got in there, we just didn't take them chances. We didn't have a lot. Maybe the Pascal one, obviously, maybe could have a little bit better, but overall, just not enough quality. Maybe not enough people in the box. And when we're getting on even in the midfield area, I've talked highly about them in the last few games. The midfield have been really good. I thought man to man, I thought Blackburn was slightly better in them areas. They controlled it a little bit better than us. They put a foot in more than us, which I don't like to see. But they maybe wanted it a little bit more than what we did today.
Well, let's take a look at the goal. The moment that separated the teams in the end, the one goal that made the difference, because it came from a penalty in the first half, and the build up to this. Cantwell penalty, Tanaka maybe just getting caught here in Pascal's strike. Talk us through that.
Yeah, well, like you said at half-time, that Pascal's probably been a little bit lazy in the way how he should have defended. He didn't move his feet quick enough. Lad comes inside, and Tanaka, to be fair, has done his recovery run well, but has just carried his momentum through onto the Blackburn player. And again, quite an easy decision really for the referee. Yeah, he goes down a little bit easy, but I think it is a penalty, and if it had been at the other end, we'd all been screaming for a penalty. But a couple of mistakes lead to it, and to be fair to the lad, he puts it well into the corner away from Meslier as well.
Yeah, because Dom couldn't have done much more in terms of his dive. He got to as far as you can possibly get it, but it's right in the corner, that penalty.
Yeah, it was a great penalty, but I just think for me personally, again, I'm going to go back defensively. I thought we could have done better in two areas there. Obviously, centre half could have defended slightly better. And obviously giving the penalty away, but that's the championship, that's football. But I just generally thought that, like the guys have mentioned, that spark just didn't seem like it was there. The last few weeks it's been there. Today just didn't seem like it was there. And I just feel sorry for them 7,000 fans that have travelled a long, well, not a long way, but a decent way, and, you know, going back not too happy.
Yeah. It's the journey back when you've won is always good fun. When you haven't won, it's not quite as fun. Let's just take a look at a few moments then that Leeds did have in the second half, because they weren't without chances throughout the game and in the second half. And, you know, we can see here Willie Nonto, who was involved in a lot of the action, particularly in the first half, and obviously came off in the second half. But he was in and amongst it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, and that's what he does. He makes things happen. But again, they're not really clear-cut chances. Like the keeper should deal with that, which he does. Decent ball in, and Axel Pascal gets a good header, and he's trying to get something on the ball in the first place from the header. But then if he could have just directed it either side of the goalkeeper slightly down, probably goes the back of the net. But the way that the game went, it ended up where probably summed up the performance straight. The goalkeeper was able to fist it away.
Todd Cantwell, of course, scored the penalty and was a threat at various points with his delivery, but also with a couple of chances himself. This one sort of just breaks to him, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, as it drops in here now, you know, with his quality, he should have done better. But I think again, it wasn't the best defending, was it? Could Firpo have done a bit better? I mean, look, there, people aren't really getting a foot to the ball, and I think again, it's just a little bit sloppy from Leeds United. That's just sloppy play. And again, did Firpo want to go and attack that and make a challenge? I thought it didn't really look like that to me. I know I'm nitpicking a little bit, but for me, that's defensively we could do a hell of a lot better.
Another chance there for him as well. Just squirms up over the bar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a decent block, to be fair. I think it's Pascal who's blocked him as well. But it did look like Blackburn wanted it more than us. No, Dom said that. But every challenge they came out on top of it. Look, again, it could have been. They could have scored a couple of extra goals given the opportunities. That's a decent block from Pascal. But again, just one of them games really where we didn't create too much clear-cut chances, and when it came to being ruthless in our own 18-yard box, we pulled out of challenges. We didn't win the second balls, and that again probably the huge disappointment of the game, because we wanted to build off the last two performances, build of the momentum, go into next week's game against Derby. Then you got Middlesbrough. Before you know it, you could have been 5-6 points clear with the teams that are chasing us. Obviously now today's result has just not allowed us to do that, but can't win every game, you learn from it, and I'm sure Daniel will.
You try and take positives where you can, don't you, I guess, as well. One thing I noticed just seems to be building up as well. We talked about Joe Rothwell and his delivery on set pieces, but that relationship between Joe Rothwell and Pascal Struijk seems to be developing, scoring the goal against Sheffield United, setting up the one for Joel Piroe the other night against Luton. That came from a Rothwell delivery. Pascal got on the end and nearly a goal there today. It seems to be one of those things on set pieces posing a bit more of a threat.
Well, you do the comparisons from last year, right, that Leeds never scored any set pieces. Well, there's two factors that you have to have when you're doing set pieces. You've got to have good delivery, and you've got to have somebody who wants to go and attack it. Pascal missed on most of last season anyway, so you can put that into the mix. Didn't probably have the delivery that Rothwell brings. I think they've got an understanding of where Rothwell's going to put it, and Pascal wants to get onto the end of it to either score for himself or hit the target and get rebounds. So I think that is something that will keep continuing because of the determination and the quality from either player.
OK, well, let's head back to Ewood Park and get some thoughts from our commentary team after that 1-0 defeat today. Here's Bryn Law with Tony DeRiga.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, guys. Yeah, one of those days, wasn't it, for Leeds United? In all fairness, we saw 100 minutes plus football here, but for very little of that did Leeds look like scoring a goal, and that was the frustration throughout, wasn't it?
It was. I think we got into some good areas of the pitch. Didn't quite find that final pass or the final finish. To be fair, the keeper Pears tried to help us out a few times as well, and we still couldn't really take advantage of it. I was impressed though with Blackburn, just their structure, the way they played. They didn't break the lines too often. They didn't come out at us. So the space that we had to play into wasn't plentiful. Still, we should have done obviously better, but I thought their two centre-halves were probably outstanding and men of the match.
I think it's fair to say that the concern in that situation with Leeds is if they fall behind, you've then got that disciplined defensive unit that they're trying to break down, and that can prove difficult.
It is. lots of the ball. You can get out wide and try and get behind that. So any time they do come out, trying to get forward quickly is vital. But you've still got set pieces to look at. I think we're getting better at those corner kicks. But today you've come across, two centre halves who seem to be winning everything in the air as well. So we just couldn't break them down. But I am disappointed in the way that we played. But I also give credit to Blackburn. I thought, their performance was outstanding.
And when they had the out ball, they had a player like Dolan who was available there just to put the pressure back on, even on his own.
He was annoying. He was annoying, but everyone of their players were, in that they worked so hard. Even if they couldn't get the ball, we said in the second half, Dolan didn't touch the ball very much at all, but the positions he got into, the pressure he put us under, and then our passing was just rushed, and they ended up, winning the ball, or we couldn't get it to a player that we wanted to.
When you've got those players like change the complete forward line, you anticipate a kind of a shift in pattern. Just didn't happen today, did it? Really, that the pattern still looked the same even after the changes were made?
It did, and even if you put then two up top and all these attacking players on there, you still have to find that space. You have to get the ball in the right areas. Once or twice got caught at the back where they did break, but we just didn't do enough, simple as that. And then you're looking for a player to come up with something, produce something, special. And we never quite, had that either. I just look at the way that they played. Two holding midfielders, and any time there was a break in play, down they go. It's all good stuff. It's frustrating from our point of view, but you could see they managed the game extremely well.
Well, at the end of the game, you and I had a brief conversation. We got to that point where you think, I think Leeds have cracked it here, haven't they? We're seeing clear signs now that this is a good team.
Yeah. I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but fair play to take some in there, and I'm going to put it down, but to take him, and as players who have held the ball drop, I've got a great opportunity.